Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and to Shark Week here on the channel. I apologize in advance for my voice. I am still getting over my uvulitis, my swollen uvula. So if I cough a lot or if my voice sounds weird in this video, I apologize, that's why. But today we are talking about Deep Blue Sea and the Deep Blue Sea and the two sequels, Deep Blue Sea 2 and Deep Blue Sea 3. No fun subtitles. So, first film. My first note is this is more of a Jurassic Park. So, in the Deep Blue Sea movies, they are running a facility, and then sharks become a problem at the facility. So, it's not the same as Jaws, where they're just trying to have a good old time, and the shark comes and gets in their business. My next note is they love their slow-mo. A lot of slow-mo shots in this film. Then I wrote smart sharks, because the big thing about the sharks in this movie, which again is similar to some of the Jurassic Parks, is that these sharks have increased intelligence. But my next note is just knowledge versus capacity, because they talk about how they increase the size of the shark's brain. And I forget the reason why. Again, it's been like a week since I watched these, but it was something like they wanted a certain type of protein or DNA or something from their brain, but they needed to make the brains bigger in order to get what they wanted. So they increased the size of the shark's brain, which made them smarter. But just because you have a capacity to be smarter and to learn things does not automatically give you knowledge. So I don't remember specifics because, again, I watched 11 of these in a day. But there are, things like sharks figuring out, mapping out the compound and understanding how to use human equipment to trick people and understanding how to lock doors and things. And, just because they're smart enough to learn how to do that doesn't mean that they already know how to do that. They would have no way to know that. So I think it could have been more interesting over a longer timeline to see sharks learn these kinds of behaviors and then put them into practice. But you just have them, have the knowledge and experience of humans, which is not the same as having increased intelligence. So kind of a shot in the foot on me accepting the premise of this movie. My next note just says the setting of this makes it distinct from Jaws, which I already talked about, and that's the end of my notes on Deep Blue Sea. Moving to Deep Blue Sea 2, we got a weird James Bond introduction opening segment of this movie, which is kind of weird. I don't think we have any returning characters, and so I wrote, so is this a sequel? And if I jump to the end of my notes for this movie, I wrote, no, not a sequel. So this is one of those sequels that's not really a sequel until we get to part 3, but we'll get there later. Smart Sharks 2.0, and these sharks apparently can understand English, because there's a scene where there's a guy talking about, I think he's talking about killing the shark once they're done with it or something like that, and then it cuts to the shark who's spying on him through this window or whatever, and it's so stupid. It's like a bad cartoon, because it's this shark understands the concept of eavesdropping and understands English language, even though it's, you could take someone with very good intelligence, like people in other countries that don't speak English. That doesn't automatically mean that they have the capacity or that they have the ability to speak English. Even if they have the capacity to learn and understand English, these sharks just automatically understand English. Again, I can't get behind the concept because it just makes these huge leaps. What is it? We have the term jumping the shark for when something goes too far. I guess that still applies in shark movies, doesn't it? My next note says, so this shark movie is actually about AI. And I don't remember where the AI was in play, but it wasn't actually about the sharks. Then we got shark babies, right? We've had multiple sharks in movies before, but now we got shark babies. That's different, and different means better, right? Then I wrote yet another Jurassic shark. That's where I finally got the best version of that pun. And then I wrote Math Lady meme, and I don't remember where this took place, but I'm pretty sure there's a scene where it just shows someone who's trying to figure out a way to take care of the shark, and just the framing of it and the pacing of it made me think of that meme with all the math symbols. And that's, that's apparently noteworthy, in my opinion. Then my second to last note is the floating or mattress reminds me of the Arkham game. So there's a scene where there's a guy who's on the part of the facility is flooded. He's on a mattress, pulling himself along, floating around. And I don't remember which Arkham game it was, but I think it's perhaps a Killer Croc level, and you're using these ice grenades to create these icebergs, and then your zipline thing to pull yourself along. And it made me think of that. And now I kind of want to play the Arkham games again. And then my last note, as previously stated, is no, not a sequel. Then we get to part 3, and my only note for this one is a sequel, and retroactively makes 2 a sequel also. So in this, the third movie, we get an explanation for how the timeline has worked, and it retroactively actually makes 2 a sequel, even though 2 on its own wasn't. And then I stole a joke from BoJack Horseman and wrote, this time, it's personnel. So whereas, the Jaws movies became personal, going after the Brody family, and the Deep Blue Sea movies, they're just going after the staff, the personnel. So I stole that joke from BoJack Horseman. So that's all I got for Deep Blue Sea. I would say it's definitely different from Jaws. It's not just a Jaws ripoff or a Jaws copy. But I don't think I'd say that it's better, because we're talking about the first Jaws. The leaps that the Deep Blue Sea movies have to take with the shark intelligence, I can't get there. Whereas the leap of, there's a shark here and it's not normally here in the first Jaws, I can get there. And also, the cast in these movies just do not have the same chemistry that the cast in Jaws has. So, different. And if you are less into, the concept of a monster shark coming to your home and causing problems, and you're more interested in, a facility experimenting on sharks and that going wrong, there's an appeal there if that's what you're into. But I guess I'll save the rest of my thoughts on the Shark Week showdown that I'm going to do at the end of the week. So those are my thoughts on the Deep Blue Sea movies. Next up are going to be the open water movies tomorrow, and those I have a bit of a better opinion on, but we'll get to that tomorrow. That's all I got today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.